Good morning, my name is Kirsty. Welcome to Kirsty Knits and Sews and day 10 of the 12 Cast-Ons of Christmas. I am joining Ange of Yarn and Yarns in doing the 12 cast-ons this year. It's a make-along that she runs every year from the 24th of December to the 31st of January the following year, which is now 2025. And it's just cast on up to 12 projects up to 12 projects in that time to enter the make-along and then work on them throughout the year. I decided to jump in. I didn't want to do Vlogmas this year, so this is my way of doing a mini vlog for 12 days as I share with you what I am starting. I have a lot of projects on my wish list of things that I would like to make, and I wrote down over 30 of them and put them in here. So every day I'm just picking one out and seeing what comes. By now you will have seen yesterday's vlog, day 9, which will show you that currently right now, even though it's day 10, I haven't actually started day 9s. So I will be recording day 9 and day 10 concurrently today in the hope that I do actually get day 9 started. But you will have seen all that already because you will have already watched day 9 before you watch day 10. So you know what I don't know. How funny is that? But for right now, I'm going to pick out of this bowl plant pot that I use for sewing supplies. It has, almost 30 projects still in it. I'm going to pick one out and see what we're going to do today. I keep picking out 2 at a time. Alright, my trusty alpaca paper, and the project for today is okay. I was like, what is that? Maximum Yarn's basic sweater. So I bought some yarn. This will be a great one. I bought some yarn at a yarn show in Canberra when I was living there last year. And it's from Maximum. I'm just going to go get it and then I'll explain about it. Alright. This is the yarn. I wanted just a basic sweater. I didn't really mind if it was raglan or scoop neck, but I just wanted it to be, round yoke, but I just wanted a basic sweater that I can wear over dresses. So a bit bigger, a bit oversized, but very basic. I looked at a few patterns and I haven't actually picked a pattern, so I'll have to do that today, or I could use the same pattern that I'm using for my, Advent sweater. I could do that. I'm debating whether or not I do like a big oversized floppy collar, or whether I just do a basic, just a normal small collar and keep going. When I saw the yarn, I loved this one, but he only had 3 skeins. So I also got one of these, and my thought was that I could stripe it in. I could either do two colours and just have one part of it a bit lighter and then the rest in this colour. I could do the collar and cuffs out of this and have a bit of a different colour there, or I could do it every 4th stripe. I do this, and that would mean that it would be the same throughout the entire sweater. I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. The idea of doing collar, cuffs and hem out of it does appeal to me, but that's not going to use a whole ball, and so that would mean that I have less yarn for everything else in the sweater. So I'm going to have a think about that. Doing every 4th row does appeal more from a design perspective, but I also don't want to have just a line every 4th row throughout the entire sweater if it is noticeably different, and I also don't really want to be striping the yarn the entire sweater. So doing every other for one ball, which would be half the sweater, I'm not sure. I don't know, maybe I'll do every 3rd, but not for the collar and cuff. I might do that. Anyway, so that is what I have there. Let me pull some out of the bag so you can see the beauty of this yarn. It's quite pale, and you can see the green in this one versus the purple in this one. And it also has pops of orange. But yes, I thought tone-wise they're very similar. They go together. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about this. And it also will be a pretty vanilla knit because it's going to be no patterning, no colour work, just knitting. Which means this one could be my on-the-go knitting. It could be quite quick. I do have, so now I'm just going to do some thinking about the design. My advent dress this year was a raglan top down. It was fingering weight held with mohair. This is DK weight, so that would be a pretty good swap. It is a little more fitted than what I'm thinking for this sweater, but I could easily just add a few stitches in the collar, or if I wanted the collar to be as high as I have it, then I could just do some extra increases for the raglan, which would also work to then have, I think the advent dress I'm trying to get reasonably fitted under the arms because I'm just planning to wear it over a tank top, but this one I'll be wearing over dresses, so I will want the raglan, or the sleeves to be a little lower, armholes to be a little lower so that it will fit nicer over the dresses that I have. So maybe I'll just do that. I'll do that, I'll do some more increases, and that'll give me a slightly more oversized fit for both the sleeves and the body. And then I can just knit until it's a good length. I think that's probably going to be easier because I already have all of the notes. I know that it looks good. I know that the increases and everything are working for my body. Maybe I'll do that. If you are interested in doing something like this, I've seen Yana of Finished Knitting Stories. She has done like 5 different Lento sweaters, which is just an oversized raglan jumper. So if you want a pattern and you want to do an oversized baggy sweater, go check out the Lento sweater. I think it's in Elena magazine. But yeah, I'm just going to do my own pattern, my own numbers and such. The other one would be, I know Tin Can Knits has I think it's called the Flax sweater, and that's a free pattern. It does have some detailing on the arm that you can just omit if you want a plain sweater. But my one thing with that is I've discovered the neck is a little wider than I like. And so that's why I wanted to do my own design and not use that for the advent dress, because every time I use it, the neck kind of gets stretched out and I didn't want that. So, especially with a dress, because that's a lot of weight. If it's a light thing, like for a kid, it may not have the same problem. And I also don't know, oh, it has optional short rows, I think, that one. Anyway, I'm going to do my own raglan sweater basic pattern for this. This is where it gets tricky. I actually got a message from my friend this morning saying, I can't believe you have enough needles for all these projects. Well, I do have a lot of needles. I do not have a lot of 4.5mm needles, and I'm currently using them for my advent dress. I just took them off, you will have seen 2 days ago, I took them off my daughter's advent dress, which wasn't an advent, but just the same style. And I'm using them for what I started 2 days ago, which was the Kookaburra sweater. I remember what I started in the last 12 days. The Kookaburra sweater by Marjana Kolacek, I believe, which I'm making for my husband. And I'm still knitting back and forth, so I cannot take them from there, and I'm working on my advent dress in the morning, so I don't want to take it from there. So if I do cast this on 4.5mm, I'm going to have to get creative. I could always do 4mm and have it just a tighter gauge and adjust the pattern accordingly. I'm not gauge swatching. I'm not going to do it. Which means if I do that and I adjust the pattern, I'm just going to be picking numbers out of thin air. Not really, but adjusting a little bit for that. But again, I can just do extra decreases. So that's not a big deal. What I will do is I will cast on the collar, because the collar will be what the collar will be. And then I will decide whether or not I take the needles from one of those projects to make some progress and then put this on hold or not. But yeah, this makes me happy because it will be a simple knit and I should hopefully be able to make some progress on it while I'm doing editing and other things. Yeah. Alright, I will check back in later. I've made some decisions. We just got home from church and our friend has bought a coffee machine and we're borrowing it. Well, we're figuring out how it works. And so we've been drinking coffee this morning. I don't know how many I've had overall, but I've had a lot of tastes of a lot of different coffees. So we'll see. But I have made a decision about what needles I'm going to use for my jumper. So I've put everything in this bag here. I'm pretty sure the fabric is Aquafacton, which is a German brand, and I can't remember the name of the designer. But I made the bag myself. In it I have my yarn, a little tin of notions, scissors, and a tape measure. This is generally what I do for all of my bags, but with having so many new projects, I've had to go and make a few more notion tins. And so I'll show you what's in here. It's just a cute little flower tin, and it's got some stitch stoppers, some progress keepers, some stitch markers, and a needle for sewing in. So they all just fit in this tiny little tin. I like it when I can fit scissors in too, but I don't have many scissors that fit into such a small tin. And so you can see these scissors are significantly bigger than this tin. Anyway, I have these in all of my tins. Now, I went to look at needles for this project, and in my needle box, it jumps from a 3mm to a 5mm at the moment. All the ones in the middle are being used for other projects. So I pulled out my Mindful Collection needles, which some of are also being used for another project, but it's only the 4.5s that I started using yesterday. The 4mm are still there. I did buy some 3.75s separately and put them in here, as well as some 3.25s, yep. And so all of these ones are still here. Now, I did mention this morning about the possibility of buying more needles. I may still do that, but I thought if I want to start this today, I just want to get it started. So I think I'm going to go the 3.5 for ribbing and the 4mm for knitting. And I'll just do more increases until it's the size that I want. I may cast on a few extra stitches just to account for that as well. And because it is a straight DK rather than fingering held with mohair, I think it'll end up being slightly looser if I do the same needle size. So by going down in needle size, it will firm up the fabric a little bit, and I can just account for that with stitches. I'm not going to gauge swatch. This jumper will be a gauge swatch for any future time that I want to use DK weight with 4mm. I'm easy that way. So I'm going to get these needles attached and cast on. That does mean though, I'm going to have to go to my advent dress and look at my stitch counts and make a few decisions about that before I cast on. And so I'll probably just grab a little notebook at the same time and pop it into this bag so that I have everything together and information for this jumper, because I do have a notebook in the other bag that I'm keeping track of anything I do for that pattern, for that dress. And so I'll just go and copy some notes from that into here so that I have it in this bag as well. I have been working on my cast on. It is about 5:30 p.m. I have done short rows, so I've cast on, done the ribbing, done short rows. I did change over the needles, which I don't always remember to do, so that was nice. And where is the front? I don't even know anymore. I should be able to tell. There we go. I was like, I should be able to tell because one side will be significantly shorter than the other. So there is the front. And then there is the back. So you can see significantly more fabric on the back. I have done, I think, 1.5 rows of the green so far. And you can, I don't know how much you'll be able to see, but just like that yellow dot there, that is the green row. So there's only orange in, I said yellow, didn't I? Orange dot. There's only orange in the green row. And you can see maybe just a little bit of green there. I don't think it's going to be overwhelming, which suits me beautifully. And I think it'll just kind of mesh in with the rest of the yarn to make a pretty overall thing. It is dark, 5:30, my goodness, it's dark here now. I am going to go make some dinner for the kids. It is date night tonight, so my husband and I are going to watch the next Marvel movie, which I believe is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Okay, some cute little stitch stoppers. We're going to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. So we're going to feed the kids and put them to bed and then get takeaway for us. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to work on this during the movie or if I'm going to work on the spinning because I've done no spinning today and I would like to get that plied up and the next yarn started. So yeah, not sure whether I'll do this or that, but I'm making progress. And yeah, like I said before, because it is a vanilla knit, this I think is going to work up really quickly. It can become, yeah, my mindless knitting when I need mindless knitting. I've almost finished the beanie that I'm doing. So once that's done, this can move into my mindless knit. And I know that generally, I've said I'm going to wait till after the 12 cast-ons to do any more work on the projects that I'm casting on. But this one may be the exception. Understand, it's already day 10. So I've only got 2 more days. But I may work on this over the next 2 days if I need some mindless knitting and my advent dress isn't going to cut it. Because that is also mindless knitting at the moment. But yeah, small mindless knitting. This might take over. So yeah, I'm going to go make dinner. The kids have been watching Ice Age 5 because there are a bazillion Ice Ages. So I'm going to make dinner for them and see what this evening brings craft-wise. I'm back for the nightly wrap-up. I have a 0 as number 10. The stitch markers I got are Knit with Sis, which I will link below. I think I've forgotten to this point. They are Knit with Sis, a Polish brand, and it's just on leather, and it came with 1 to 9 and a 0. So I have the 0 for number 10, and then I also got, as part of a workshop I did, 2 stitch markers that I will put onto a clip or onto a light bulb marker for number 11 and 12. So this is number 10. I have not done any work on this since I showed you before, so I will quickly show you one more time. The beautiful, beautiful fibre yarn is Maximu Yarns, who is a Australian dyer who lives on the Mornington Peninsula. Yeah, so I love this. I love how it's working up. I will love wearing it. And I'm going to put my stitch marker on here. Let's put it on the front, hey? There we go. 0 for number 10. Yeah, I didn't work any more on this. I did finish, well, partly finished the spin that I was doing that I wanted to get plied up. I finished one of the bobbins. I reckon that I could do, I reckon of the last two bobbins, one has about twice as much as the other. So I'm hoping that I can do that into a 3-ply and basically use both of them up. And what I'm going to do, because it's the longest gradient and the shortest gradient that are left, I'm going to ply them up and I'm going to hope that they will work really well as sleeves. Because it has two of the shorter gradient, it will colour change a bit quicker. Yeah, and so hopefully that will work for the sleeves, and just to make the sleeves a little bit more even in terms of how quickly they change compared to how quickly the body changes. That's my plan anyway. I do have one bobbin free at the moment because I just finished plying off one of the bobbins. But I reckon what I'll do is I will ply the last two onto that empty bobbin, and then I will have two bobbins free. Yes, so I spent tonight doing plying so that I can get onto days and irons, cast on. So I didn't do any more work on this. But that's okay. Like I said before, it is a pretty easy knit, which means I will be able to work on this at another time for sure. I am going to put it away and leave it up here because I haven't finished the Advent dress, which is what I will work on tomorrow. I have 2 days left of 12 cast-ons. I hope you're here for it. I look forward to finding out what tomorrow's project will be. And for this one, what was it even called? MacLeod Yarns Basic Sweater. I am glad to have that underway and I look forward to wearing it, as with all of the cast-ons. So, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. As always, I'd love to know what you've been working on while I've been working on these things and while you've been joining me here. It's been really lovely to hear about different people's ideas of how you're doing cast on this year, or not casting on but what you're working on. It's been really great listening to or hearing about what you're doing and then talking with you about it in the comments. So yeah, let me know what you've been working on and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.